Hey everybody, my name is Bobby. Welcome to Mile High Church. Thank you so much for spending part of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. Our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we want to give you a look at a few things coming up around Mile High Church for you and your family. What I wish my parents knew is today at 11:30. The topic is Courageous Conversations with Kids, where you will learn to talk about death, illness, and divorce, and other tough topics with your children. And enhance your meditation and prayer practices with Roger Teal at his weekend meditation retreat starting June 13th. This will be Dr. Roger's final retreat, so we encourage you to attend.
I am passionate about prosperity and believe that all of us can and should have financial wellness in our lives. We just need to remove some of the resistance that might be inside of us to have it. We're offering a class on the 4 Tuesdays of May from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity, which is based on the book by Edwin Gaines. And she's joining us via Zoom the very first night of class. We're removing all resistance that you might have to this class so you can join us and pay whatever works for you. It's a love offering class. It's in the Teal Sanctuary and on live stream. You can come and go. If you can be there one night and next week by live stream, you can only be at 1 or 2 sessions. We invite you and welcome you to any and all sessions that work for you. Come on, let's get prosperous together.
For more information about anything you've heard today, just ask Nico. Or stop by the event center or check us out online at milehighchurch.org.
Nico. So it is Sunday morning and I have a special guest. His name is Zaya Stallings. Zaya is back with us today. He's been with us once before. He's an amazing local performer. He has a band called Copper Children. He's the lead singer for them. They're fabulous, and he's just a great guy, and I love that he's going to be singing 2 Bill Withers songs for us this morning. So, welcome, Zaya Stallings.
Good morning, everybody. Super happy to be here. I actually came to this church growing up, and some of my earliest experiences seeing live music was here at Mile High. So to sing here is it's a real pleasure. Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. Call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on.
Thank you, Zaya. Thank you, Mile High Band. I didn't know that story about you, Zaya. That's fantastic. What a gift it is to have you here with us today. What a gift it is to have each and every one of you here with us this morning. We welcome everybody watching online. Mile High Church is a sanctuary, whether you're here in person or watching online, where we can remember or recover our wholeness. It's a place to remember who we are. It's a place to remember those words of Carl Jung, that I'm not what happens to me, I'm what I choose to become. And when we center ourselves with the sacred within ourselves, we can live better and better lives. I'm grateful to be standing on this stage because we had an electric experience this past Friday. How many of you were here for Coot Blackson's awesome sharing about the magic of surrender? That was wonderful, and it's so wonderful to have our incredible speaker program here at Mile High Church. And Dr. Michelle on Friday announced our next speaker, who's not coming till November 1st, but we've got early bird tickets for him now. His name is Dacher Keltner, and he wrote an incredible book called Awe, The New Science of Everyday Wonder and How It Can Transform Your Life. He's a scientist and expert in emotional intelligence. He was actually a lead consultant for the movie Inside Out about the emotions. So he'll be sharing stories of that and lots of other things. And not only can you get an early bird ticket today, but we're doing a little program where you can get a book with your ticket as well. So I think we have some of those left as well. So we're looking forward to November. If you're new here, we love to recite our vision and mission each week. It's coming up on the screens. If you want to say it along with me, it goes like this. Our vision, oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. I'm so grateful for all the things that Mile High Church does in the world. One thing I wanted to thank everyone for is bringing those blankets and sleeping bags and tents for the big bin out there to support the refugees who need them in our local community. So that's still available. So grateful for that. So grateful that our youth choir is here. Don't they look great? And you may want to leave your eyes open for Surely the Presence today, because they're going to help sign us through it as well. So with that, let's take a collective deep breath as we move into our communal spiritual practice of song, of silence, and prayer.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
and in the silence, we feel that power of God, that power that supports this universe, supports each person in it, that power. And in this sanctuary, this beautiful sanctuary, we feel the peace, the love, the joy, the power, the power. We feel that within ourselves. We feel that within the person sitting on either side of us. We know that that power of the universe, which is available to each one of us, resonates even in those places that are struggling with the destruction of storms and tornadoes. That power is still there in the neighbors and the people that reach out and help. God is right there in the center, no matter what the appearance may be. And I am so thankful for this service, being together in this beautiful place that we call Mile High, that so many of us found and love and feel the power of. Thank you, God. And I'm thankful that in this service we have so many people providing the music, the volunteering, the production, all of the gifts, the beautiful children that are part of our Mile High community. We are so blessed. And I know that this service today is blessed, that the message touches hearts so that we then walk out, are a beneficial presence in this world. Thank you, God. And so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. Yes, it's a love that heals, a love that sets us free. There is only love.
Thank you, Tom. We have a couple of quotes today, words of inspiration. Firstly, from our founder, Ernest Holmes. How can we receive what the mind refuses to entertain? Should we not then consciously develop the ability to receive more? We make life little and mean and limit our own possibilities when we refuse to accept the whole gift of God. We should open our consciousness to a receptivity of the divine. There will never be any point of saturation because God is infinite. We cannot contract the infinite, but we can expand the infinite. And from Sherry Huber, here is my wish for you and every other child, woman, and man on the face of the earth. Spend 1 week saying only kind, caring things to yourself. Say thank you at least 10 times an hour. Direct 5 toward yourself and 5 toward the world at large. Compliment yourself and others each time an effort is made. Notice all the wonderful qualities and characteristics about yourself and those around you. 1 week. You will never go back, and your whole life will be a glorious meditation.
Grandma's hands clapped in church on Sunday morning. Grandma's hands played a tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, Billy, don't you run so fast. Might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in that grass. Grandma's hands. Oh, Grandma's hands soothe the local unwed mother. Grandma's hands used to ache sometimes and swell. Oh, Grandma's hands used to lift her face and tell her, she'd say, baby, Grandma understands that you really love that man. Put your trust in Jesus' hands. Grandma's hands clapped in church on Sunday morning. Grandma's hands played a tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, Billy, don't you run so fast. Might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in that grass. Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands used to hand me a piece of candy. Grandma's hands picked me up each time I fell. Oh, Grandma's hands, boy, they really came in handy. She'd say, Matthew, don't you whip that boy. What you wanna spank him for? He didn't drop no apple core, but I don't have Grandma anymore. When I get to heaven, I'll look for Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands.
Thank you, Zaya. Thank you, Tom, Randy, Bijou, Mike, Stu. So grateful for all of you. Wonderful to see and be seen by everyone this morning. Really, hey, thanks. I'm grateful. We just wrapped up a 6-week thing that we called our Spring into Action campaign. And it was just an opportunity to highlight our Mile High Church Fund and all the things that it does. So we sent some emails out and some people gave some special donations. And just want to thank you that we raised in that 6 weeks for our Mile High Church Fund almost $300,000. Isn't that awesome? And compared from the 6 weeks of the previous year, our donations were up 17%, which is really awesome too. So we're so grateful for you for supporting Mile High in that way. And just as an act of greater transparency and to inspire more ownership, we're going to hear during our offering period today from our treasurer, Kevin. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Our message this morning, in the yuck, but not of it. There once was a man who was walking with his spiritual teacher. They were on a hike, and the man fell and hurt his knee. And the man grabbed his knee, and his teacher said, "Don't grab your knee, grab your breath." Don't grab your knee, grab your breath. Sage advice. I might have started with, "Are you okay?" But it's sage advice. You know, the next time you're angry, don't grab the curse word, grab your breath. The next time that person at the light in front of you in their car is looking at their phone instead of noticing the green light, before you honk, grab your breath. When you're hurting or lonely or frustrated, acknowledge the hurt, but grab your breath. There's something about human nature, what I'll call yuck consciousness today, that wants to go right where the hurt is. That wants to say, "Look at me, I'm hurting. Look at this hurts. And again, we have to acknowledge the hurt, but learn not to identify with it. We want to learn not to go to the hurt, but where the healing can begin. And that's what the breath represents in this piece. This is the essence as well of our practice here of affirmative prayer, where the condition or the challenge in the prayer is almost completely insignificant. It's all about our ability to remember the truth. It's all about our ability to go into an awareness of the divine. Emmett Fox, the great metaphysician, put it simply and profoundly. All that you have to do is this: stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. This is the complete rule, and if only you will do this, the trouble, whatever it is, will presently disappear. It may be big or little. It may concern health, finance, a lawsuit, a quarrel, an accident, or anything else conceivable. But whatever it is, just stop thinking about it and think of God instead. That is all you have to do. Could it really be that simple? But what is that awareness of the divine for you? Is it an image? Is it a feeling? Is it a song? Is it a deep knowingness at the core of your being? And perhaps all that you have to do when faced with a problem is let it go. Just let it go for a minute. It will be waiting for you when you come back. And remember that spiritual truth of who you are. And who knows what might take place. I once had a deep fracture in a relationship with someone I love. A mental health episode came up, and it was at that point, perhaps you've had this experience in your relationships where even if you were calling and trying to practice forgiveness and love, it would just make things worse. You ever had that? Where it's just a fire, and to continue to participate in the relationship just makes it grow and grow. And so I had to completely cut off communication with this person. And it was painful and hard for me. And yet I never had to separate my connection with that person. Because each and every morning in prayer, I could see the spiritual truth of this person who I love, who they really are. I could surround them in love and light. I could wish them well. That's an amazing truth as well, that even behind the fractured surface that life sometimes presents to us, there is always that deep connection. The spiritual truth always remains and endures if we can cultivate it. And luckily in my life, I practiced this prayer for over a year, and a life circumstance came up and there was some healing. And although there's some boundaries and perhaps not the same level of intimacy there, I have a healthy relationship with this person again. And I'd like to think that that prayer had something to do with it. The 2,000-year-old man, Mel Brooks, said, as the 2,000-year-old man, as long as the world is turning and spinning, you're going to get dizzy and you're going to make mistakes. Part of living a whole and full life means acknowledging the yuck. It doesn't mean set up camp in it. It doesn't mean become it, but we want to acknowledge that yuck that can take place in our lives. That as wonderful as it is to grow older, there are still those aches and pains that come with that. There's the yuck of dealing at times with the healthcare system. As much as many of us parents love raising our kids, we still have the yuck of the potential dangers of the AI, the tablets, the smartphones, the social media. You know, you move in with the man of your dreams and you still have to clean up after him in the kitchen. You're behind that person in traffic, heading for the open road, and you're stuck there. You know, have they invented an app yet that lets the driver know that the lights turn green? Wouldn't that be nice? We can all identify a place where there's yuck in our lives. Can we all do that? Yes. Can you think of it? Let's say it together. Yuck. But we don't have to become that yuck. We can remember that there's a purity of our being, a grander truth that can allow us to be in the yuck, but not of it. There's a beautiful passage from a great Buddhist work called the Tibetan Book of Great Liberation. It says, in its true state, mind is naked, immaculate, transparent, empty, timeless, uncreated, unimpeded, not realizable as a separate thing, but as the unity of all things. Yes, I'm talking about you. Your own mind is not separate from other minds. It shines forth unobscured for all living beings without beginning or ending. Your original wisdom has been shining forever like the sun. To know whether or not this is true, look inside your own mind. Can you even believe that partially as the truth of who you are? That always within you is that original wisdom, that reflection of divine spirit, that ability to allow your consciousness to rise above any yucky or icky thing that may be taking place, to pull you through, to uplift you, to enlighten you. In the Tao Te Ching, a book of ancient Chinese wisdom, we are shared what's called the three treasures. And they can be translated in many ways, but today we're going to translate them as mercy, moderation, and modesty, the 3 M's. And I speak to these today because they all are tools of ways of being that help us remove ourselves from the yuck. And this first one is mercy, which means compassion. That's one of the things about yuck consciousness, about the collective consciousness of the world. One of the things that it can get us into is the grind. You know, anyone here living in the grind, working through the grind, getting that to-do list done? Life never seems to stop. We keep going and going and going. And when my consciousness is in the grind, the goingness, my greatest fear isn't death. It's not public speaking. It's being a minute late to anything. Anyone have that too? And I can get caught up in it. And on one particular morning, a few months ago, getting my daughter ready for school, and we're a few minutes late on leaving the door and getting to school. And so I'm a little stern with my 5-year-old, more than I would normally be. Nancy June, it's time to put on your boots and get in the car. And we get in the car and we're driving along, and my daughter says, "Daddy." "Yes, Nancy. I just want you to know that even when you're mean to me, I forgive you." And it was an experience of grace, of great mercy. Honestly, I don't think I've ever felt so loved as I did in that moment. Uplifted, affirmed, removed from that consciousness of yuck, to remember the truth of who I am by an angel, a little bodhisattva, a Jedi in a car seat. And we can practice that kind of mercy too. Is that not what Jesus meant when he said that we must be like little children to enter the kingdom of heaven, just like little Nico over there? We can remember, amen, amen. Oh, it's Juniper. Sorry, Juniper, that's what she was reminding me of. that we can experience that kind of mercy, that in your day-to-day interactions, as opposed to holding people accountable to the grind or to the task list, when we can, again, respond with compassion, we immediately get out of that rat race that Lily Tomlinson reminded us, even if you win, you're still a rat. And we can put our souls up front. We can be authentic, and we can make a real difference in helping people remember who they are, much less practicing that compassion towards ourselves. So mercy, and also the second gift of moderation. Moderation. There's the consciousness in the yuck that's cultivated by our consumer culture. And we could define this consciousness as you can't have just one, right? I think Ruffles made it famous. They actually articulated you can't eat just one. And there's this culture that kind of needs us to be empty. It needs us to want to have more. And unintentionally, it creates a sense in us of emptiness, of need, and of not enoughness that gets articulated through drinking too much, eating too much, smoking too much, listening to the news cycle too much, being on our phones too much. And what I can tell you and what I've learned is if you do and consume something from a place of emptiness, you're only going to wind up empty in the end. We have to learn to consume from that place of fullness. And when we do that, our fullness is affirmed for us. We can say and affirm, yes, I can have just one. You want to say that with me? Yes, I can have just one. And make it beautiful just the way it is. The Tao tells us, be completely empty, be perfectly serene. The 10,000 things arise together, and their arising is their return. Now they flower, and flowering still homeward, returning to the root. The return to the root is peace. Moderation isn't so much about cutting back. It's realizing that the only way we experience true abundance is sometimes through the less. It's through the simplicity that we can experience the richness of our lives. I'm a dessert fan. Anyone else here a fan of dessert? So one thing I like to do, especially on the sacred candy holidays of Halloween and Easter, is I will only let myself eat one candy. And I kind of turn it into a bit of a meditation. I'm going to offer it to you right now. We may even have some chocolate to share. If you leave the wrappers in the seat in front of you, I will be fired. So please keep them with you if you want one. Come around. But I like to take a little candy. Here's a little Mr. Good bar right here. And I just slowly open it like Charlie getting ready to see the golden ticket. And I behold it, and I see it. This chocolate, the great sacrament of Mile High Church. And just fully present to the chocolate comes fully present to me. And you might notice, like I'm the first thing that I notice, wholly and completely satisfied. I'm not thinking about the crackle I'm going to grab next. I'm not thinking about my anxiety. I'm not trying to quelch that thirst in me that can't be quelched. I'm simply enjoying a piece of chocolate. And I'm not hungry. I'm full. And I'm grateful for the life that I'm living. What does it mean? I know this is kind of complicated to talk about. I guess I'll go ahead and finish the rest of this after. As we want to ask ourselves when we're approaching the things that we're consuming, what we're consuming from. And when we can be fully present in a place of loving who we are, when we can consciously consume whatever we're enjoying, we can experience its richness. Love the Mr. Good Bar. Moderation helps us experience the fullness of our lives on an everyday basis. Mercy, moderation, and lastly, the third treasure, modesty. Modesty or humility. There's this aspect in the world, maybe you have it too, I definitely fall into it, where you want to be first, where you want to be special, where you want to be the best, and so you live your life in this competitive spirit as opposed to seeing people for who they are. You compare yourself to them or try to one-up them in some way. And getting out of this takes humility. Getting out of this takes modesty. To love ourselves as we are, to be enough as we are, and to not have to be so competitive or driven, but to be self-loving and creative. Anyone here have any frenemies? You know what a frenemy is? That's a friend that you might be close with, but you have a competitive spirit. You secretly don't really like each other, or you let each other know that in times of gentle ribbing. And I have a great frenemy. We've known each other since we were teenagers. And what we do is we try to brag about things going on in our life and then act unimpressed by them. Josh, you wrote a book? That's wonderful. Self-published, huh? You had a kid? That's wonderful. Then did you have that labor or did your wife? Gone to Mile High Church following Roger Teal? That's wonderful. How's that going for you? It's that gentle ribbing. And I'll always remember running into my friend and asking him how he was doing. And he shared with me that his wife had just left him. He'd been married 1.5 years and it didn't work out. He didn't know why. He was questioning his career, his purpose in life, his faith. And it was so amazing because I had all that frenemy energy and it just went away like that. In that moment, it was clear that he was the better man. And in his vulnerability, it showed and revealed our connection of heart. How much we love each other, how much we admire each other, and how silly that yuck consciousness can be when it drives us into being competitive with one another. Without modesty, we don't receive the forgiveness of children. Without humility, we think our truth is the way of life and forget God has a greater truth waiting for us. Without humility, learning to embrace our foibles and mistakes in jest, we don't get to learn and move on from them. Modesty, humility allows us to live in the present and embrace the best of life. I'm going to hopefully not do something sacrilegious today, but I want to add a fourth M that doesn't come from Lao-Tzu and the Tao Te Ching, but the fourth M is moxie. We could all use a little bit more moxie because there's this other aspect of the world consciousness, and it's totally understandable, but it's when we get depressed at the state of the world, the state of the country, the state of affairs. We look at what's taking place in Gaza. We look at what's taking place in Ukraine. We look at places of injustice or pain or abuse in our own country, and it all breaks our hearts. And it's very hard to remain optimistic when we know this kind of stuff is going on. And moxie is that a quality that's like a defiant joy. It's that ability not to be naive and see the world with rose-colored glasses. It's our ability to hold ourselves and our fellow human beings to a higher calling and a higher way of being. Moxie is a courageous spiritual quality that allows us to bring the greatest amount of optimism and responsibility and positivity to even the most difficult areas of our life. I went through the list of spiritual teachers to think of a great teacher of moxie, and I settled on a more secular one. I couldn't help but think of the king, Elvis Presley. The king of moxie. Brought a lot of moxie to his music and to rock and roll in the 50s. And he stopped doing music for a while in the 1960s. And he was doing movies, and a lot of things changed. Vietnam happened. The Summer of Love happened. And he came back and he did a TV special in 1968 that became called the Comeback Special. And he chose a song to close it out with called If I Can Dream. And it wasn't a great point in our country. Martin Luther King Jr. had just been murdered. Robert Kennedy had just been murdered. So it took a lot of moxie for him to choose this song that was written about King, even in a moment of great pessimism in our society, to remind us that if we can dream, if we can embody that moxie, we can make a major difference in our lives. And I don't have to read you lyrics because we have an awesome music program here, so we're just going to hear the song.
There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in the sky, more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why can't my dream come true? Oh, why? There must be peace and understanding sometime. Strong winds of promise that will blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope keeps shining on everyone, tell me why, oh why won't the sun appear? Oh, we're lost in a cloud with too much rain. We're trapped in a world with trouble and pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. He can fly. Deep in my heart, there's a trembling question. Still I am sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out in the dark, there's a beckoning candle. While I can think, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can dream. Oh, please let me let it come true. Right
Tom Litch even gave us a little bit of hip and knee shake, if you noticed that there. Thank you, Tom. If Elvis can do it in 1968, you can do it in 2024. Let's have a prayer. Just moving into that awareness, that original wisdom, that divine light in each and every one of us, something that we all share together, yet is individualized in our hearts and our minds and practice in our daily life. We give thanks for this divine knowing of truth within us and know that it's up to us to cultivate an awareness of it in all areas of our lives. That through these treasures of mercy and compassion, of modesty and experiencing more through each and every little thing, of modesty and practicing humility, and of having that moxie that always knows that light within us is greater than any darkness that may appear around us. We are giving these treasures not just to improve our becoming, but to respond to anywhere that gives us that impression of yuck, of not enough, of fractures, of hurt. We can remember that truth of who we are, and we can hold others to that truth of who we are. That a life lived with love at the center is possible, and as a byproduct of that is great healing, great forgiveness, great understanding, and the true richness of a great life. We give thanks for it. We apply this knowing to anyone we know or anyone we don't know who could use that healing spirit and that reminder of the truth of who they are today. We let it be, we let it root, we let it grow, we let it become. And so it is. Amen. So as we move into our time of offering, thank you for being here at our service at Mile High Church. I want to invite someone from our Board of Trustees, our treasurer. His name is Kevin Grieble, and we're so grateful. Who else from our Board of Trustees is here? I see Barb. Anybody else? I'm sure Steve and a lot of others are watching online. These are folks that give an incredible amount of their time to help guide our lighthouse here. We're so grateful for them. And Kevin is just going to share a little update on the financial well-being and health of Mile High Church.
Indeed I am. First of all, what an honor it is for me to serve as treasurer for your spiritual community, for your spiritual home here at Mile High Church. Thank you for that opportunity. I'm here to give you a bit of a thumbnail glimpse of our current financial condition. I'm very happy to say that we are on budget for our fiscal year. Now, our fiscal year runs from July 1st to June 30th. Of every year. So we're on budget where our expenses are concerned, and much gratitude to our staff for a real good job of expense control. And we are exceeding the budget for our contributions year to date, the calendar year to date. However, we're a little bit behind budget for the full fiscal year. So we would really love to meet our budget this year. We have a thing about that. We have a good, adequate cash cushion. Yet, just as it is at home, we would rather be adding to or maintaining that cash cushion rather than be drawing from it, right? So we are doing well, and we need your continued support. And if you have any questions, I'll be out with Reverend Josh in the lobby after the service. And for a real deep dive, please consider attending our membership meeting August 11th. And the most important thing that I can say is, whatever you share, we are grateful for you and for your presence here at Mile High Church. And also, if you would, remember us in this tax return season, this tax refund season, just saying. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Kevin. With that, we're so grateful to you, however you choose to give. Let us all honor our giving together as we say our offering affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
I know a place where we can go to lay the troubles down, eating your soul. I know a place where mercy flows and take the stains, make them whiter than snow. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes you come alive. Living water that brings the dead to life. Oh, 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 we're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Hey, hey, let's get lost by the water, washed by the water, and rise up in amazing grace. Let's go down, down, down to the river. You will be changed. And let's go down, down, down I've seen it move in my own life. Took me from dusty roads into paradise. All of my dirt, all of my shame, the drowning streams that'll make you born again. Like a tide, it is rising up, but deep inside a current that moves and makes you come alive. Living water that brings the dead to life. Oh, 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 we're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river of prayer. Hey, hey, let's get washed by the water, washed by the water, and rise up in amazing grace. Let's go down, down, down to the river.
Will be changed.
Let's go down, down, down to the river.
Never the same.
Let's go down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's go down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's go down. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Hey, hey, let's get washed by the water, washed by the water, and rise up in amazing grace. Let's go down, down, down to the river.
You will be changed.
Let's go down, down, down to the river.
Never the same.
Yeah, oh, go down. Ooh, ooh. Gonna go down like amazing grace. Ooh, gotta go down like amazing grace.
Yeah, great music today, huh? And what a wonderful message also from Reverend Josh. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you again for being with us. And we want to say, especially to those of you who are here for the very first time, we know that it takes a lot of moxie, as Josh was talking about, to walk into a brand new community and not know about the community or know the people. We've all been there. All of us were first-time guests at one point or another. And you can wander around our community and never talk to anybody and pick up all the brochures and information that you like. And you can have a little moxie and go to the Welcome Center and talk to the folks there and ask some questions about the community and continue to find out more about who we are and what we have to offer to support you in your life journey. Whatever you choose to do, if it's your first time here, we're so grateful for your being here. And if you would like to, yes, we can applaud the first-time guests. That's a great idea. Thank you. Yes. These wonderful people down front, our practitioner prayer partners, are here to support us all in experiencing prayerfulness. That also takes moxie, to walk down there and stand in front of them and tell them what you want prayer for, right? But it just takes about 3 minutes. It's a wonderful gift that you can offer yourself, and you can surrender into that wonderful river of prayerful consciousness. So please do that today. Thanks again for being here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna make sure I grab that before I'm walking down. You know, Mile High Church, we want this campus to be a place for your spiritual practice, and so we have yoga and Tai Chi and meditation during the week, but we have some special events coming up too. Next Saturday is World Labyrinth Day, and you can come and you get to carry an intention for yourself or for the world, and you get to walk the beautiful labyrinth with other folks, and talking about getting out of the yuck. It should be a beautiful experience. Thank you, Larry and Chris and the whole team who's creating that for us. On May 8th, Reverend Zamira is doing a sound bath. This is a way to experience spiritual practice through beautiful sound. And then, not this Saturday, but the one after, Reverend Jackie is facilitating a Sacred Saturday that's going to be like a mini silent, almost silent retreat. What a great opportunity to step away from the everyday world for a minute and just really ground yourself in your own thoughts, in your own heart, and in spirit. So we're really looking forward to those things. After church today, in the vote is What I Wish My Parents Knew. It's about courageous conversations. And we always say it's for families and kids, of course, but it's really about all relationships. And so we have some wonderful presenters taking place. And so really invite you over there to experience that if you're in person here at Mile High today. With that, the kids are going to help us sing our peace song, but first I invite everyone to stand, and if you so choose, say a benediction with me by repeating this. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, body, and all that I do. I give thanks for it, and I accept it just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment